Good evening, everybody. My name is Sonia Bebbington. I am Chief Librarian and CEO of Ottawa Public Library, and it's a pleasure to have you join us at this event, Exploring Indian Cuisine with Chef Joe Thottungal. Kwe Kakina. As we come together virtually, it's important to acknowledge that we are on the land of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. We pay tribute to all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, their elders, their ancestors, and their important contributions, past and present. Nous rendons hommage à toutes les Premières Nations, les Inuits, les Métis et leurs aînés, leurs ancêtres, et à leurs importantes contributions passées et présentes. I do have a few housekeeping details to share. Participants will be muted this evening and cameras will be turned off so that we can focus on our excellent presenter. And as we move through the session, please feel free to submit your questions via the Q&A function that you'll find along either the bottom or the top banner of your screen. We will do our best to have Chef Joe answer them either during the demonstration or at the end as time permits. This evening, Chef Joe Thottungal will take us on a mouthwatering and informative culinary journey. Joe is a renowned chef and owner of Tali and of Coconut Lagoon, both excellent restaurants. And not that long ago, he released My Tali, an award-winning cookbook that showcases the rich and diverse flavors of the Kerala region of India. I know that he did actually a cooking trip to this region as well, which would be even more fabulous. So Chef Joe will guide us through the preparation of some dishes, sharing his expertise and his passion. This isn't the first time we've had a session like this with Chef Joe. The last was fantastic, as I know tonight's will be as well. So we hope you enjoy, learn some new cooking tips, and be inspired to try some of these recipes for yourself. And now it's time to welcome Chef Joe Thottungal. Enjoy the session, everybody.
Welcome. Namaste. Welcome to Coconut Lagoon Kitchen. Happy Heritage, Asian Heritage Month. As we celebrate today, I'm going to show here few of the dishes from my cookbooks, one from the Coconut Lagoon and one from the My Thali. And I will start off with few things, tricks and things. Then we go from there and we will be making two dishes. One will be the roasted beets salad and one with the Nilgiri chicken. I will go step by step. But before that, we'll start off with some papadums, which it's a chip which we use for Indian meals. So I'm going to show you the steps how to make papadums. Okay, there is few different kinds of papadum in the market now. So one is the smaller one, which we use in South India, which I use it mostly in my restaurant. There is different ones also from the northern part of India. So these are the two different ones. I will show you different ways of cooking it. One is deep frying them. One is grilling them. Two of them are grilling, okay? So to grill them, it's very easy. You just take some papadums, open flame. You can do it in your barbecue. It's a beautiful summer dish with different chutneys and raitas and all that. You can enjoy it. So take an open flame or in the grill. Just use a pair of tongs. You just put it on top and, cook it like that. So once it is cooked, it will become very white, pale. It's otherwise, if there is any uncooked parts, you should make sure that it gets the heat so that it cooks. And the beauty of these North Indian papadums is you can play around and make whatever the shapes you like. If you want to make a cone, you can do that. If you want to just fold it into half, you can do that. So these are very good things to do it for a nice papadum basket. And the beauty of these papadum are gluten-free. It's very good for your health, just rather than, especially for the kids with the soup, with the rice, papadum is the best accompaniment you can go. If you want to fold it just like that, just hold it like that, it will hold like a taco. You can do different shapes, okay? And I will do there is another different variety, which is the spice one. And this is with the cumin. And also I'm going to do that also grill it on the range, okay? The open fire. These are a little bit smaller ones. So just the same process as the other one. And you can make, again, different shapes. If you want to make a nice cone out of that, you can do like that and leave it for a minute or so. It will stay like that shape, okay? So these are the papadums. And now I'm going to talk about the South Indian papadum, which are the smaller ones, which always deep fry. Even though it says you can put it on the microwave and all that, I don't recommend it, because the best way we always do it in our house is frying them. And you don't need to have coconut oil or any fancy oil. Just do it in vegetable oil or a canola oil. The secret of this is you have to be at the right temperature. If the oil is not at the right temperature, it will soak up a lot of oil. If it is too hot, it will burn your papadum. So make sure, and you don't need too much oil. In a small pan, just enough oil to dip it up, the papadum. And you take a pair of tongs also to try a small, this is done, in and out. This is what I want. So to fry a papadum, just in and out. You see the difference of a small papadum like this, it becomes like that, almost the double in size, okay? So put it in a paper towel pan and do like that. See? You can fry them and keep it for a week in an airtight container. During the summer months, I feel that with the humidity, it gets a little bit soggy, but the papadum should be always crispy and crunchy. So if you can do it a la minute, like the last minute, it's better. But if you make it and keep it in an airtight container, it should be crispy. You can use it anytime. And this is a very good snack. You should always have it in your house. It goes well with the mango chutney, different chutneys, mint. This is the way we do, okay? So let me tell you, if you have any questions, I will take it in the end of the session. Then we can talk about it. Anything I know about the cuisine, the food, the restaurant, anything you want to ask, I'm happy to answer. So these are the papadums. Goes very well with the different chutneys. You can enjoy it. I want you guys to use it up, all these Indian ingredients, which will be nice in your palate and taste in your table. So now we're going to start off with a nice beet salad, which is on my cookbook, My Thali. And on page number 140, if you look it up, it is, this is the recipe I'm going to do, which is a roasted beet salad. And beets we grow in India, but we don't roast them too often. We just boil them, we cook them up. And this is a very simple dish. And this was in our restaurant menu for the fall and winter, and it was very popular. That is what I wanted to show. So for that, you need beets. You can use the candied beets. You can use the rainbow colored one. You can use the regular red beets. So I roasted, it take an hour to roast them. So to roast them, you wash your beets, dry them, massage it with a little bit of vegetable oil and a little bit of salt. I prefer the kosher salt, the salt, sea salt, so that it stays there and it gets the flavor into the thing, into the beets. You bake them with the foil on for an hour, hour and a half. Make sure the beets are soft. So roasting the beets that retain the taste and the flavor of the beets rather than boiling, okay? But if you are in a rush, you want to do this recipe, go ahead, please. You can cut them up, peel them, cut them up and boil, or you can boil whole and cut them up also. So this is the beets which is boiled already, roasted. You cut them up and just remove the skin, okay? So if you take it out the skin, it's easy to come out. And for this recipe, what I'm going to use is red onions, which is beautiful, crispy, crunchy, and some green chilies, which I'm going to show you. So I have some beets also here, which I boiled, steamed already or baked already. So the yellow one. So I'm going to cut small wedges. Do like wedges like this. And if it is too big, you can make it into small, just in the middle. It depends on the size of your beets, okay? Should be nice, presentable in a nice bowl. So it's up to you how you cut it. So this is all the beets in a nice bowl. Take it out. Now you take a little bit of the red onions. Slice them. I want to see the red onions, okay? Don't be shy. It gives you good flavor. If you want to cut a little bit smaller, it's fine too. Add it up. Now comes the good part. We need a little bit of heat in there. So there's green chilies. And what chilies we use in Indian cooking? Always the green Thai chilies or the yellow ones, you know, or the red ones. But it should be the Thai chilies. We don't use much of the jalapenos or other chilies. This gives the heat, good flavor, crunchy, crispy. So these are the ones I'm going to use. Some green chilies. Just chop them up. Okay. Add it up. It's totally up to you how much heat you want to take. If you want to stay away from the chili, there is a little bit of black pepper putting into the salad, so you can have that one. But for me, because of the sweetness from the beets and the onions, I would like to have that green chili effect. You know, you bite into that, it gives you a lot of flavor. And the most important herb I use in my cooking, mostly in the South India, these are curry leaves, beautiful fresh curry leaves, okay? That's what the friend of my cookbook is, the first. And curry leaf is the soul of South Indian cooking. We use this herb. Like for Italians, it's rosemary or the basil. We use, South Indians, we use this curry leaf a lot. Every curry we put. But don't get misunderstood that this herb is not what the curry powder is made out of. We call it curry leaves only because it is used in almost all the curries. For French people, it's bay leaf. We put some bay leaf in our stews and the sauces and all that. Same thing in Kerala, or where I come from, South India. We use curry leaves in all the dishes, okay? So, and it is available now, pretty much all grocery stores in Canada now, where you can buy fresh curry leaves, okay? So you just take it, loosen up the leaves, and don't be shy. It's very Ayurvedic, okay? So it's a medicinal also. So don't hesitate to use it. It lower the cholesterol and all the things like that. So, and I want you to just shred them, like julienne them, so that it can be chewed easily, you know. So mix it up, little bit of salt, not too much, because there is a little bit salt in our beets already, which is already baked. Little bit of black pepper and white vinegar I use. If you can get little bit of coconut vinegar, that is the best one. You can use wine vinegar, champagne vinegar, red wine, whichever vinegar you like. But I use the white one. Just make it simple. And a touch of coconut oil. And coconut oil, I will talk about the coconut in a minute during the class. But coconut oil is the oil we use for our cooking. And if you don't know where I come from a state called Kerala. And what is Kerala literally means? It means land of coconut. So it's a beautiful sliver of land southwest of India. There is 650 kilometers of sea face. And one tip of Kerala where three oceans meet, the Arabian Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and Bay of Bengal. We get a lot of seafood. That is why Coconut Lagoon has a lot of seafood dishes, because we get fresh catches. We are in the coastal region. We talk about spices because the spices grows in Kerala and we are familiar with it. Our home surrounded with, you know, the black pepper wines, cloves, cardamom, cinnamon, a coconut, jackfruit, mango trees. So that is why we are talking about all these spices. And Kerala has a lot of coffee plantations, tea plantations, all the spices, the seafood. So it's a beautiful part of the world. And if you've not been visited, you know, I take some tours to Kerala, which you can always join us with us and come with us. So this is marinated now. It's nicely done. Taste, enjoy, check the flavoring. And, you know, in a nice bowl, little bit of fresh kale from my garden here. We can dress it up. And this is a quick snack which my mother or my wife makes it here. And this can be eaten with a stack of chapatis, which is a bread, which we make it at home, or the bread, or even a bowl of basmati rice. You can enjoy this. So this is garnished with a nice piece of cilantro, maybe a nice flower from the garden here. So very easy to make. This will be a beautiful lunch for next day if you wanted to make it and take it home. This is a nice beet salad with coconut oil, okay? So this is the first salad. Now I'm going to start off with a nice Nilgiri chicken, which is made with fresh mint and coriander. With the season, spring is here and summer coming up, with a lot of fresh herbs in your garden. This is a very good summery dish. We should try to make it at home. For that, you know, we need a lot of fresh mint here. We have some nice mint. We have some cilantro, which we use a lot in our cooking, and lot of red onions. Sorry, white onion. For cooking, we use red onions. Sorry, white onions I use for the sauteing, and ginger garlic paste we use. Okay, and turmeric, coriander powder, touch of cumin powder, and yogurt and coconut milk. So this is again to make a good chicken dish in Indian cooking. we recommend to use a whole chicken. Don't go with only the breast or chicken thigh or something like that. When you cook it at home, always buy a whole chicken, take the skin off, cut them up into smaller pieces, into 16 cut or something like that, then cook it. The beauty of making a good curry with the whole chicken, the flavors will stay in there from the bones and the things, and it will taste much better rather than using a fresh chicken breast or the chicken thigh, which don't have any bones, okay? Because in a typical curry, we don't use any chicken stock or things like that. So I recommend use the whole chicken, but in a restaurant setting, we always go with boneless because people are easy to enjoy a meal with if it is boneless. So we make like that. So we make the chicken boneless, which is here already. I cut it up and kept in the fridge. Okay. So for that one, we're going to get a nice pan. We're going to heat it up, the oil. So for that recipe, we have the coconut oil, which I have it here. The green cardamom pods, which I have it here. A beautiful spice, tune of spice. Everyone should have that one. And in cardamom, there is nothing to waste. Everything has to be used because it's one of the expensive spice we have. Because you know why? Because it is handpicked. By each pods are taken by hand and picked it, controlled heat, dry them in 24 hours to maintain the green, and very expensive, very flavorful cardamom. We use some cloves, which is another spice we grow in our place. We're going to use some cinnamon. We're going to use some star anise, ginger garlic paste I mentioned, green chili. I'm going to chop it up, onions, salt, coriander powder, turmeric powder, yogurt, fresh cilantro, which is coriander, mint, and chicken boneless or bone-in, whichever you prefer. You can use coconut cream or coconut milk, thick one, lemon juice, black pepper, cumin, okay? So these are the spices. So in a pan, once it's hot, you're going to heat up some coconut oil. For cooking, we use coconut oil, but not to fry a papadum or anything like that, okay? Need a good wooden spoon to do that. So for this, we're going to use some whole spices, okay? Some cardamom, some clove, some star anise, and a small piece of cinnamon barks, okay? I want to bring the flavor out of these spices, okay? That is why I'm sauteing it in the oil, okay? The flavors is coming out. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the ginger garlic. Ginger garlic is nothing but equal portion of ginger and garlic blend together to make a paste, okay? Let the flavor goes out. If you are here with us, you should you can get the flavors, different flavors coming out. When you're sauteing each spices, you will get the flavors coming out. When you're Indian cooking, you need to enjoy the aromas, so that you will know where to add the other spice or where to add the other next ingredient. It's a skill you should learn. We cannot teach much, but it is by experience you can learn it. So we're going to add some green chilies. This is the heat of this curry comes only from the green chili, which I added, okay? So you saute them, let all the raw smell flavors go out. So keep it stirring it, okay? Indian cooking is a lot of work, but that's end result is beautiful. It's a lot of stirring, a lot of cooking, slow cooking, braising, sauteing. But in the end, it should taste much better. So you saute them, keep on checking like that. Then this is the time we add the chopped onion. To make a good curry, onion is a base. So the onions gives the caramelization, it's give the richness to the dish. So don't be shy. It is hard to chop an onion, but if you go the skim on onions, the dish will be weak. So don't be shy. Add a lot of onions and cook the onions well. What is the secret of cooking the onion faster or sweating the onion? Add little bit of pinch of salt. It will release all the water from the salt, from the onions, and it will cook faster. And we don't want to be the curry to have uncooked onions. The onion should be cooked and smashed into the sauce. So add some salt and keep it in low flame and let it slow cook it. It will release all the liquid and it will cook, okay? Salt will help you to sweat the onion faster. So meantime, as this is getting sweated down, I want to talk about garam masala. You know what is garam masala? Garam means hot and masala means a blend of spice. So it doesn't give you the spicy, but the hot heat, but it has a lot of flavor. To make a garam masala, every chef, every mothers or every cooks in India or whoever uses garam masala, they have their own recipe. They adjust over the years, you know. They may like little bit more cardamom. They may like little bit more cloves or less cinnamon. You know, it's up to you. But the recipe which I use or from my mothers, you know, from the tradition of our house, the garam masala I use have 5 spices, which the 5 spices are cardamom, which is queen of the spice. You know, this is a nice spice box. And when we talk about the spices, you should always keep your spices whole. When you need it, you grind them and buy smaller portions of spices. Don't buy a pound of cumin powder or, you know, chili powder. If you are not using every day, buy smaller portions and use it up. Buy fresh new ones and use it up. So to keep the spices longer, the best way is to keep it whole. Even the black pepper, keep it whole black pepper, grind it when you need it. So this is a nice home style small spice box, which I recommend if you are doing at home. And if you have like 8 or 10 spices to keep it. So, you know, you can put it in small bowls like this. And in the end, after you done your cooking, just cover it. So the flavors, it's airtight, it's tightly covered. So this way, this will be preserve the flavors, okay? And keep it, leave it open after 2-3 days or a week or so, it will loses the flavor. So we don't want that to be happening. Okay, so keep it like this. And if you become a amateur in cooking and, you know, getting a professional, you can have a bigger spice box. When next time, if you go to India, you can buy a box like this. And every day morning when we comes, we fill up the spices in the restaurant, all the essential spices. Because the secret of Indian cooking, when you start cooking, you need all your spices handy. You cannot leave the things here and go looking for chili powder or turmeric or coriander or anything like that. So this is a better way to have your spices. And again, this has a lid also, which you can cover it and keep it. See, airtight. Nothing goes in, nothing goes out, the flavor, you know, just cover it when you are not in use. But if you are using, open it up, then you can use it and cover it immediately. So this way, there is 9 different things I can put it. So these are the essential spices which we use on pretty much all every dishes, okay? So I will I would recommend like a spice box like that. So I'm talking about garam masala, the 5 spices, and again the recipe is in the page 20 in my thali, and it's one in Coconut Lagoon also. Cinnamon sticks, cinnamon barks, just break them up a little bit. Cardamom, few of them. I put some cloves, not overpower, because the cloves has a very distinct flavor. I don't want to overkill with cloves, okay? So not too much cloves. And again, cinnamon, the star anise, which came from China to Kerala, and we started growing that. So this is star anise. Again, it's a very pungent, so don't use too much, just one. And the nice licorice flavor and the anise flavor is from the fennel seeds. So these are the 5 spices I use. And you know why did I put it in a pan? Because all these spices are sitting there idle and it don't have that flavor. So put it in a nice small pan, toast it, dry roast them so that it will get roasted and the flavors will come out nicely. So I wanted to warm it up, but don't over roast it. I don't want to over roast them. Just like that. You can do this in your oven also. You put it in a tray and put it in like 200 degrees and just put it in the oven, toast them so that it's crispy and crunchy. And always check it. With your hand, you can just touch it and make sure it's not burning. It's warming up. It's getting toasted. Warm it up, crisp it up. Just break the big pieces into small because we're going to grind it anyway. So, and the garam masala, the secret of garam masala also is you make only small batches. You don't make a big batch and keep it because once it's grind, this flavor will lose faster. So the aromas will lose. So we don't want to do it. And the beauty of garam masala, you can use it not only in curries, you can use it in your barbecue. When you're grilling your chicken breast or chicken, you're doing a steak, you can add some garam masala, gives a lot of flavor, okay? So see, this is toasted. The kitchen is full of flavor now. If you enjoy the spices, you know, if you are in here, you can get that flavor coming out. So it's not burned, it's just toasted nicely. And what I wanted to recommend for everyone is to have a coffee grinder. You know, this is the grinder I use every day. And it is even broken, but still we use it. So I recommend go to a Walmart or any shop, you know, buy a cheapest coffee grinder you can buy and keep it only for your spices to grind, okay? So this is a coffee grinder. I'm going to put the spices in here. And put the lid. And I'm going to grind it. So when you grind it, make sure it's fine ground, okay? Make sure you shake it well and grind it. Make sure open it up, yes. So this is nicely grind. Okay. See, this is the what we want. Fine. And this is even more for a week or two. So when you do it at home, even half the quantity will be enough. But if you make little extra, put it in an airtight container, seal it nicely, put it in your cabinet. You can use it whenever you need it. So this is beautiful garam masala. You know, the flavor of the anise, the cardamom, and things like that. So this is how we make garam masala. So we keep it in that lid, which I'm going to use it. So the onion is still not ready yet. Keep on adding a little bit of coconut oil. Make sure it sweats and cook it. Let it cook. So that I don't want to taste the onion. I want that caramelized flavor from the onions. And you know, it has to be blended. The sauce should be smooth. So make sure you cook it nice. Once your onions are cooked, then we're going to add the spices, which gives the flavor, okay? The turmeric, the coriander, things like that. We're going to add it once the onion is cooked. So it will take few more minutes. So let me talk about coconut, because we need coconut milk in our cooking. So how do we get coconut, and what are how you use it? As I mentioned, the place I come from, Kerala, means land of coconut. We are born and brought up with a lot of coconuts. So to make get a cooking coconut which is matured, the coconut has to be in the tree for 9 to 10 months. Make sure that is mature enough so that they bring it down the bunch of coconut. It will have a husk. So the best way to see a coconut is mature is to shake the water, like shake it. If the water is splashing, that means it's matured, okay? And it become little lighter. A heavy coconut is tender coconut, which is from the third month to the 5th month. People drink the water only. They don't use that coconut, tender coconut, for cooking. So you may seen in Thailand, you've seen in India or other hot places, tropical places, they cut the husk and the coconut, and they put a straw. They can drink the water because the water is sweet and lots of water. The flesh won't be thick. So that is why you cannot use that for cooking. To make coconut oil, to make coconut, grated coconut or coconut milk, you cannot use those coconut. To make it coconut milk and coconut oil and coconut cream, grated coconut, you need to have that mature coconut. And it comes from, you know, South America, it comes from Sri Lanka, it comes from India. And this may be plucked maybe a year ago or two, but it will save. If it is good coconut, it can keep for a year, 2 year, no problem. But if it is not properly matured, it will go bad faster. So make sure that coconut is good enough. So there is 3 cues which I will tell my people, the friends, to look when you go to a grocery store to pick up a coconut. The first one is make sure the 3 eyes of each coconut is clean and dry. If one eye is popped out, or if it has moisture and it's wet, don't pick that coconut. That coconut may be not good, okay? So don't pick that coconut. The second cue is shaking. You take it to the ear and just make sure that once the water is reduced, it will splash inside. That is a sign of a matured coconut. And the other thing, you should have water inside the coconut. So hold the coconut in your hand, make sure it's weighs. If it is light-weighted coconut, don't pick, because there won't be any flesh or any water inside. So those are the 3 things before you pick a coconut or buy, because there is no refund for coconuts in the grocery store, okay? So make sure that, you know, these are the things you can take. And when you bring it to your house, how do you chop it up or open it up? Very easy. Don't get panic. Don't take any hammers. Don't do it on your tiles or on the floor. Don't do anything. Just take an empty bowl, hold it in your hand like this, and take a French knife or cook's knife, not with the sharp end, the other side. Hold it in your hand, the eyes away or the tail is away from you. And you keep on tapping on the middle of the coconut, okay? You can do maybe 2, 3. Yeah, it will crack, okay? Once it's cracked, you just put the thing in the knife and open it up. So this is a beautiful coconut by itself, I know. And you drink the water, you know the freshness of the coconut, okay? Back home, when it is 30 degree like today or 20, 25 degree, my mother or whoever cooks it never wastes this water. They drink it because that's their drink during the hard work they're doing in the kitchen. So you can enjoy the water. Don't waste anything. You don't even need a bowl. You can drink it. But when you're doing at home, first time, make sure you have a bowl. If you don't want to drink it, just empty it. This is a beautiful coconut. Make sure the flesh is white and it's firm. There is no discoloration. The water is clear. That means this coconut is beautiful. This is nice to use, okay? So people ask me, what do you do? How you get coconut oil? Very simple. In back home, when it is 30, 35 degrees, they cut it open, they take the water out, they keep it on the road or on the ground with a carpet or something, you know. We put it up, dry them. 3, 4 days, it will dry. All the flesh become dry and it's called copra, the dried coconut. Then we take it out from the shell, it will come off. We dry them again. Then we take it to the mill or the shop where they press it. They press it down, we get the coconut oil. This is the process we do in back home. That's why coconut oil is very tasty, very flavorful. We enjoy coconut oil in almost all the cooking. To make a grated coconut, very easy again, but with the machine. If you don't want to use the machine, not the machine, the equipment like this, you can always, I can show you the way to do it. If you keep on tapping it, all the shell will come out and the pieces of the coconut will come out. And with your knife, you can take it out. See, you can take pieces out of this coconut. And you can take this white, the brown skin off because this is discolor your coconut milk, okay? So if you want grated coconut, easy way like this, you peel the skin. And with a box grater or in a food processor, you can just blend it, like whip it up one time, you will grate grated coconut, okay? Or to make a coconut milk, this flesh of the coconut with warm water in a food processor, blend it nicely, take the first press, that's the thickest coconut milk you can get. Then add a little bit more water to the flesh again, you blend it, it will become lighter. So traditionally, we cook with lighter coconut milk. Then in the end, like French people does 35% cream, we use the coconut cream, the thicker part in the end to just finish. That gives the richness and the flavor to the dish, okay? So if you have access to a grocery store, Indian grocery store, you can go and buy a scraper coconut. And this is a tabletop, which you can put it on any tables, okay? You can just put it like this. You put a bowl to collect all the grated coconut. And this is how we traditionally do in India. We grate it. See, we're rotating it, and we rolling it, we grating it. So this is flesh without any brown part, but we are scraping the coconut out. So you can use, if the recipe calling for grated coconut, this is the best way to get the grated coconut. You can even buy frozen grated coconut nowadays in the grocery stores. But I recommend, if you have time and if you want to play with coconut, this is the best way to do it. Okay? And the fresh. And the taste much better. See? If you keep on grating until you hit the brown part, okay? So I don't want to discolor your coconut milk. So that is why you have to be careful. You have to keep on rotating it and you grate it like that. This is beautiful. So this is a grated coconut. You can use for grated coconut. You can make a coconut milk with blending it with water, press it down, and you will get the best coconut milk. The onions are getting ready. So this is about coconut. And if some recipes call for slivers of coconut, like this, you slice them. Okay, you can chop them, you can use whatever, you can eat it. These are the best coconut. Okay, this is all about. Next time, another trick is you have a nice bowl like this, the coconut, put your raita or mint chutney and put the chutney in the middle and put your papadam around it. Next to barbecue dinner or, a party in your house, enjoy, buy some coconut, cut it open, put your chutneys in the middle. It act like a bowl and papadams all around it. People will enjoy it. So now the onion's ready. This is the time I'm going to add the spices. The spice I'm going to add is the turmeric, which is a very good spice. When I talk about turmeric, that is the only spice you should always have it in your house. This gives a yellow color, but it's medicinally, it is beautiful. It's good for your body, fight cancer. It's antiseptic. Back home when we cut, olden days, cut with your knife, my mother grabbed some turmeric, put it on the wound, it will heal. So this is a spice you should. But you need to be careful. If you have a nice white countertop, you have to wash it down right away. This will stain your apron or the white cloth or anything. But this is a spice. You should all use it. When you're boiling your potato, add a pinch of turmeric. It's not going to hurt you. It is good for your long run. When you are doing your carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, any vegetable, add touch of turmeric. It's curcumin. It's beautiful. It is healthy. So add the turmeric now and coriander powder. Coriander powder is the seeds, it's a grind coriander seeds is a coriander powder. And coriander powder gives that rich flavor in any curries. So don't be shy with the coriander powder. Coriander powder gives good flavor and thickness to the sauce of the curry. So we're going to add coriander powder always more, because if you add too much turmeric, it's become bitter. So I don't want to use too much turmeric, okay? And I want to roast it. The spices need to be roasted. So add a little bit more oil. Make sure the spices is roasting, that the raw smell goes out. I don't want to taste the raw spices. That's why we roast them. And for this, I need these fresh herbs to be chopped up. So this is mint. pick the big stems out. Take only the leaves. But some tender stems are good also. But I don't want the dark ones, okay? It may bitter your curry, okay? So just take only the leaves. And another thing with the mint is going to be the cilantro. This is cilantro. When you use it, wash it a couple of times. I don't want to have the sand in there. Wash and just chop only the roots out. I will always use the stem of the coriander because cilantro, because it gives a lot of flavor, okay? So chop them up. Fine chop. This is more like a herb based dish, okay? And this goes, it's very light, very flavorful, and it's good to have it on a hot day like summer. Okay, chop it up. And I always rinse it out in a bowl. Make sure it's all the sand, because the fresh herbs tend to have some touch of sand. So wash it with cold water. Okay. So this is the time I'm going to into the onion, the masala, the spices as roasted. I'm going to, without the water, I'm going to add the herbs. And yogurt and chicken and let it cook. And when I use the yogurt, it's plain yogurt, 2% yogurt, plain. So it's become nicely done. Now we're going to add the chicken, which is already cut. And let it cook slowly. Take some time, but make sure that you stir it. I want this, all the spices goes into the chicken so that, you know, it seals up the chicken. So let it heat up. You increase the flame a little bit more and let it cook. Again, you always season it up. And depends upon the chicken, it takes 15 minutes to cook. 20 minutes if you know, bigger pieces. But it's always make sure that how you cut it, you make sure that it's cooked all the way. Chicken has to be cooked. So let it cook. So Indian cooking, as I mentioned, it is layers of cooking. You saute them, you temper the spices with in the oil, you know, making sure that, you know, you cook slow cook, you braise them with the juices and the sauce, you know. So these are the things. So I wanted to show you now what is called tempering. Again, in my cookbook, it says tempering the spices. So how do you temper the spice? It's not like chocolate tempering. It's spices. And in Hindi or in our language, we call it tadka. That means use flavoring with the nice spices. The example is if you cook some dal, which is a lentil, which I boiled already, with a little bit of turmeric and salt. But this don't have any spices or flavor right now. But I want to make it more flavorful with a touch of cumin and mustard seed, little bit of red chili. I wanted to, it's called tempering. And to temper, you don't need too much of spice. You don't need too much of oil. So there is actually a vessel called tempering pan or dadka pan. And this is a small pan, which you can hold a little bit oil and you can temper your spices. Tempering spices, as I mentioned, in hot oil, you put mustard seed, it crack open. Then the flavor of the mustard go into the oil, flavor the oil. Then you add the cumin or whatever the spices you want to use. It will all flavor. Then you put it on top of the dal and mix it up. So when you're enjoying the dal, you get that spices and it flavors the dish, okay? So that is done in the end of any dishes, okay? So I'm going to show you the trick just to get you the knowledge, because in my cookbook, there is always some dishes need the tempering. So to temper, we normally do in the southern part of India, we use coconut oil. Northern part, they use mustard oil, different oils, okay, ginger oil or sunflower, things like that. But in Kerala or in southern part, we use coconut oil only because it is the most available oil for us, okay? It is all around us. It's local. So that is why we use that. And we get that flavor and we are accustomed with the coconut oil flavor. So warm this pan up. There is a hole. Make sure it's not burning your hand or anything. Make sure it's warms up. And oil. And again, for tempering, you need to have all the spices nearby. If you don't have it, then if you're looking for it, it will burn the oil, okay? So make sure you have everything ready. For chicken to cook, I'm going to add a little bit of water. Make sure it cooks. You can cover it if you want. It will be faster. Okay. I don't want to add too much water because then it will become very loose, the water. So make sure if some chicken will release a lot of water, but make sure you check, watch if it is getting too dry and, you know, sticky, add more water. Otherwise, let it cook it in its own juice, okay? So this pan is ready now. I'm going to add the oil. Not too much oil I need. Okay. Make sure it's bring it to hot. And to try the mustard seed, you put one at a time. Make sure the oil is hot. It's not ready. Even though pan is smoking, the oil is not yet. Yeah, now it started. So when you do this at home, go to dollar store, buy a splash guard, because all these spices will pop out of the pan and make a mess in your kitchen. So if you have a splash guard, you can just hold all the spices in the pan itself, okay? So now I'm going to show it in front of the camera here. It's smoking. See, it's all cracked. It's crack opening. You know, all the mustard seeds are crack open. See? Now I add touch of cumin. Maybe 2-3 chili flakes. The oil is still hot, you know. And the last thing I use is some curry leaves. See? Bring it to hot in the flame again. Just do like that. It's a small pan basically, but that's all you need to make a curry dish like that. And you know, once it is warm, nicely toasted, you put it on top of your dal. See, lot of dishes in Indian cookbook, you may be seen like this dadka on top, the spices. This is what we do. If we don't temper the dishes, some of the dishes, then we feel that dish is naked. There is not much things on it, you know. So seeing like that on top of a good dal, that means we put a lot of passion and, you know, taste flavors into that dish. And you can stir it up now and make it a nice dish. See, it become nicely with the, so you can bite into the mustard, the cumin, chili the chili if you love the heat. Otherwise, you can keep it aside. It's not very small pieces. It's bigger pieces. See, it gives you a lot of flavor. So that is all about tempering the spice. So the chicken is almost there. See, nicely sweated. It's like braising in the stew, in the sauce. And the mixture of this onion, the spices, the herbs, it's called masala. So don't get confused what is masala means. Masala is that mixture of onions, the spice, like a ragu, or, you know, in the Western world, it's that mixture. That is what we call it masala. So if it is a nice dry dish, we call chicken masala because it is not very saucy, runny. And most of the other things, we call it a curry. So the masala gives the flavor into the chicken. Make sure the chicken is getting cooked. Then in the end, we're going to use coconut milk. So coconut milk, this is the best way to do it at home. But for us, it is not much practical for us to grate all the coconut and make coconut milk because we are cooking for 100, 200 people. So the second thing best we can use is the coconut milk powder, which you can buy it from any store these days. And you can use it accordingly, whatever you need. Blend it with the water. You can keep the dehydrated powder on a separate thing whenever you need it. You put it in a pitcher with cold water, blend it, use it as coconut milk, okay? So maybe 2-3 minutes more. When the time it's, the chicken has to be cooked a little bit more. So I'm going to talk about few of the two kinds of tamarind, which I'm going to talk about, okay? There is tamarind paste, or it's called tamarind pulp. This is a different, altogether different. And there is another tamarind called Malabar tamarind, which is like a pear wedges, which is smoked under the chimney in back home, dried. And we bring it here, we soak it in water, then we make nice fish curries with it. So there is two different kinds. One is the tamarind pulp, and one is the black tamarind in dry. Okay, it comes in dehydrated form. We soak it up in water. And these are the like a lemon, you know, it will give you the tanginess into a fish curry, or you want tangy, the sourness. We use these black tamarind. It's a very healthy fruit to have in your dish, and it is available in Indian grocery stores now. So that is about the thing, the tamarind. Now I'm going to show you about some of the Indian vegetables. Hope everybody know what is this. Yucca or tapioca or cassava. This came from South America to Kerala, and this become our potato back home. Instead of using too much potato, we use this. We steam them, we bake them, we do a lot of things with it, boil, and we just eat. It's poor man's starch. So I wanted to show you guys how to clean this. This comes as a root vegetable. This is a root vegetable, go longer, and there is a stem comes out. We take it out, clean it. Now you got this. This has a skin in there. So the best way to do a tapioca is cut them up into like an inch or inch and a half. Then with a knife, you just peel the skin. With the knife, you can do like that. This is beautiful. If you guys not use this, you should try this. Native of Brazil, which we use a lot also. We cut them up like this. There is a root or a string in the middle, which you need to take it out like that. But if you cut them up like this, boil, it's very unique flavor. It's yuca, okay, or tapioca or cassava. Now I talk about okra. Okra is a vegetable which is again getting popular. It's a beautiful vegetable to use. It has to be tender. If it is matured, it become very chewy and fibrous. So make sure these okras are crunchy and tender. The best way to do that, you know, my mother and all that used to go and break all the ends of the okra. If the okra breaks the end faster without going, you know, hard, those are the tender ones. And she only picks those okras because that is much tastier, not too much of chewy or fibrous. So make sure that you can check like that. If it is crack like that, these are good okra. And you just cut the tip and the end. You can fry them, you can saute them. You don't boil okra. You fry them, you saute them, you thinly slice. You can do different dishes with that, okay? So these are okras. As I mentioned, the green chilies, which we use, clean it, take the stem off. These are the small shallots we use for our cooking. Has a lot of flavor, tons of flavor. It's very, very hard to do it, but it's a very good, onion shallots are much tastier if you baking a small batch of dish or anything like that. These are called yam. We use a lot of yam in our cooking. This is again a root vegetable. It has a nice round one. This is one of the wedges. We make sure that you clean the skin with the knife, you know, peel it, then wash it 2-3 times, then you cook it. Again, the yam are very tasty. It's not like sweet potato. It has a very unique flavor. We use a lot in our vegetable dishes, okay? So those are the vegetables. I talked about the curry leaves. Now, the chicken is almost ready. Coconut milk time. Just to make it tastier. Cream it. I don't want too much coconut milk, just enough to bring the flavor and to get the sauce in, okay? Once you add the coconut milk, don't try to boil it too much. Just enough just to bring it to boil one time, and that's all you need to do, okay? And for that, we finish it off with powdered cumin. And this is, again, if the recipe called for ground cumin, don't buy a container of ground cumin, because by the time you start opening and using it up, it will lose flavor. So buy the whole cumin, grind it when you need it. That gives you a lot of flavor. It's very tasty. And even in a mortar, like a mortar and pestle, you can grind your cumin as we go. It will give you much better flavor than buying the cumin powder. cumin powder loses the aroma, the flavor very fast. So make it small batches of cumin, add it to the chicken in the end, because I want that cumin flavor in this chicken dish. And lemon juice. Always, this is the time to adjust your seasoning, okay? Don't start with too much salt and things, because always you can add in the end. But you need to have the seasoning in the beginning also. Beautiful. Okay? Always garnish with, because this is a season of fresh herbs. Voila, there we go. With a beautiful bowl of rice, steamed rice, with this flavor. And the trick to a good curry, this will taste good now, but if you keep it for a day, cool it down nicely, warm it up again, this will be much tastier. Curry will taste much better the second day. So keep it one day before and make it for the taste it for the next day. This will be beautiful. Now, to end, I'm going to show one or two things which you can use it for your later on. One thing is about pomegranate. These are the pomegranate again, which we grow a lot. I see a lot of people telling me, to take out the seeds. People wash it down in the sink. They do different things. The simple way to do is you have a nice knife, or then you wash your pomegranate, cut it in the middle, okay? And to select a good pomegranate, it has to be, don't pick any round, nice looking pomegranate. Pomegranate, the seeds will become juicy and it will pop out. It become odd shaped, like it will come out, sides will pop a little bit. Those one are the best pomegranate you can pick, because it will have a nice juice. If it is nice and smooth, the flesh won't be, the seeds won't be too much. It will be all other white flesh. It won't be edible and it won't be good. So when you're selecting a pomegranate, try to take a pomegranate which is, bulged, because of the juice seed has a lot of juice, and turn it around like this and use your knife itself. Just tap it. By tapping, all the seeds will come out. You don't have to do any other things. If you don't want to use the knife, use a wooden spoon. Just tap it. And by tapping, all the seeds will come out. This is the best way to try a pomegranate. De-seeding, okay? So you are not wasting any sauce, any juice or anything. See, all the seeds have come out. Only there is few pieces of the membrane you need to take it out. Okay, only this. This is a beautiful pomegranate. The juice is in there. You should have a pomegranate seeds always a bowl as a breakfast. You can add it to your yogurt. You can add it to your cereal, oats, whatever you want to use it. Kids will enjoy it. But if somebody gives a wedge of pomegranate, nobody going to take the pain of pulling out the seeds. So this is a good way to try it. And I recommend use it. It's beautiful fruit. It is good for your stomach, digestion, fiber, all those things, okay? So this is the best way to do it. And now, talking about the fruits, another small trick you can do for the kiwi is take a spoon, take a nice ripe kiwi, rather than peeling each, take a knife and, cut the both ends of the kiwi, put your spoon inside and just roll it. These are the tricks you should show it to your kids because they don't want to see the cylinder. It become a clean kiwi. So otherwise they take too much flesh out and, they play around with it and become slimy. They don't want to touch it. So we don't want to waste too much. Just take the skin, put a knife inside, roll it out and take it down. And this become a nice piece of kiwi. Cut them up again for breakfast or whatever fruit you want to enjoy. And on the same note, I will talk about for the lime also. We don't need too much of the fancy gadgets. Take a lime, cut it up to extract the full juice out of it. You need only a fork. Okay, fork, then squeeze it. All the lime juice will come out because there is no seeds in there. This is the best way to get the full lime juice out of it, okay? So I'm coming to a conclusion. I will take some questions from the team, from the members, and hope you all enjoyed. Let's take the questions. Yeah.
What is the right temperature for the papadums?
There is, we don't measure the, we don't check the temperature. That is why we make sure the oil is hot and put a small piece of papadum, make sure it comes out right away. If it is taking too long to come up, you guys seen it when I did it, just in and out. So make sure that the right temperature. It's around 360, 3, but we don't check it with the thermometer or anything. But make sure a small piece in and out, then do the big ones right after that. That's the way you should try it. Yeah. This is about the papadum. Sorry, I had to repeat the question. Okay.
Can you use dried curry leaves if you don't have fresh leaves?
Yes, you can. For the curry leaf, you can use the dry one but I see year-round fresh ones available. You can freeze them a packet, then use it. But again, fresh has a lot of flavor. Dry one also, you can use it. Yes.
Okay, so I see the coconut oil you're using is liquid. Most of what I see in the normal grocery store is solid. Is there a difference with what you're using?
It solidifies. The coconut oil, you see, it's very hard in the grocery store. It's the same thing you need because it's with the cold temperature or with the air condition, it solidifies. It's the same oil. If it is in India, when it is 25, 30 degrees, it is always as an oil consistency. But once it comes here, it is firmer. But the same thing. You just take it off or keep it in the room temperature or, warmer place. It will become oil consistent. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Not fresh.
We always use the turmeric. Why I use powder turmeric? Because in curries, we always use powdered turmeric. Fresh turmeric is to make golden milk, like turmeric milk, or for grating, for facial uses and all that. Because again, it doesn't get the consistency. If you're using the fresh, you need to know the right amount you use it. But nowadays it is available. and it's a good root to have it in your house when you feel little bit of sick or viral, things. Enjoy the turmeric, grate the turmeric in milk, drink that milk with the turmeric. It's very healthy, but we always done turmeric powder. Don't take that extra step to grind turmeric to make turmeric powder.
It's 1/4 cup of ground coriander. This person seems.
Yes, it is. It is. No, that is what I put. I put the turmeric in that recipe is lots because that is what we needed. The flavor from the coriander, as I mentioned, because I only used a pinch of or half teaspoon of turmeric, but I used like 2 big spoons of coriander. So that is the proportion. You should use that. The recipe is right because that gives a good flavor to that dish. Turmeric, the coriander.
Parboil the chicken and then finish cooking in spicy sauce.
You can do, but it's loses can you parboil the chicken? That's a question, but I don't recommend to parboil the chicken because it has to be cooked in the sauce. So all the flavors and the spices, everything goes into the chicken. But if you are in a rush, yes, you can use this recipe, add the chicken. But what we want is the chicken also should have that flavor, not only the sauce. So it has to go infuse into the meat. So to get that, you need the chicken has to be raw and cooked from the scratch. That's what I recommend. You can, if you are in Ottawa, there is where you can buy the spice, the tempering pan. This can be brought in any Indian grocery, authentic grocery stores. You can buy it. If you are in downtown, I recommend there is a store on James and Bank. If you are in the West End, there is one in Carling and Bayshores area. There is one. Different grocery store. Ask for a dadka pan or tempering pan. Then you will get like this.
Can you buy coconut oil liquid in Ottawa?
You can. It's again. Can you buy coconut oil as liquid in Ottawa? Yes, all grocery store has it, and with the temperature going up, it will melt in the bottle. If it is in the winter time, it's always solidified. It's become firmer. So it's a coconut oil is a coconut oil. So you can buy it from any grocery store. Yes.
They like the idea. Someone likes the idea of coconut milk powder. They're assuming that it would be cheaper in the long run as opposed to buying cans of coconut milk.
Yeah, coconut milk, is it cheaper and is it better idea to have coconut milk powder? Yes, 100%. And I recommend that because first of all, you are not stuck with half can of coconut milk once you open and you don't need that for the whole recipe. So coconut milk powder, you can keep the powder, you can use as much as you want, take it out, mix it up and use it rather than in the can. It will open it up. You need to use it up in certain time. Otherwise it goes bad. And I don't like the taste of the coconut milk in the cans. So I recommend the best option is to make the fresh coconut milk. The second option is dry coconut milk powder. Then blend it as you go.
Is the base curry of the Nilgiri chicken can be used on salmon curry as well?
Is this recipe can be used in salmon? Not really, because that will overpower the fish. The coriander will kill, too much coriander will kill the flavor of the fish. The herbs will kill, but you can do with the lamb. You can use beef. You can use vegetables if you like, but not with the fish because fish need delicate spice like only turmeric, green chili, ginger. That will give the flavor of the fish and it will go very well, but not with more herbs and things. But if you like it, you can try it, but I never tried it. But lamb is an excellent dish. You can go with beef. You can go with vegetables. Yes.
How long is the beef salad good for in the fridge?
How long is the beet salad? It can be good for 3 to 4 days, easy, if you cook in the fridge. Keep it, cool it 2-3 batches, take it for lunches, dinner, easy to made and kept. It will stay in the fridge 3-4 days, easy.
Where can we purchase your books?
The Coconut Lagoon book, I think, to my knowledge, is run out. Now you have only the option of buying the My Thali, because in 2019, Coconut Lagoon came out. It's been 6 years now, 5 years or so, and we reprinted. It's also sold out. You may be lucky to get online, but I'm sure Ottawa, no bookstore has it. We don't have it either. I have only 1 or 2 copies here, which is personal. I have it. But My Thali is available, and a lot of base recipes are in My Thali. So if you don't get hold of Coconut Lagoon, I highly recommend try the My Thali. It has the garam masala, it has all the spices, all the basic recipes, and you will enjoy. We sell it also, and every bookstore has My Thali at the moment.
Can you preserve spices in the freezer?
No, I never did it, but can we preserve the spices in the freezer? I think freezing is getting too much, but you can, but I don't recommend. The dry, if you have the dry dehydrated spices in a vacuum pack, it will store by itself for a year or 2, no problem. Once you take it out, put it back into a freezer bag, close it nicely, store it. If you look at my house in back home now, there will be black peppercorn stashed away for 3 years, 4 years, dry. If it is dried properly, it will stay longer. Make sure there is no moisture, but in a freezer, I don't recommend. I don't recommend spices.
Can you use other oils instead of coconut oils?
For sure, you can. Because can you use other oils instead of coconut oil? Yes, but not olive oil in Indian cooking, because it will taste different. But you can use canola, vegetable oil, and in the end, you can add coconut oil. But by the time the dish is ready, you don't taste too much of the coconut oil, but you taste coconut from the coconut milk, but not from the oil. So you can use any oil which is neutral, not too much, not like hazelnut oil or other oils, but you can use canola, vegetable, sunflower. Yes.
For curry leaf in the meat recipe, can I use dry? If not, where do I buy fresh curry?
Can you use dry curry leaf in the beet salad? Yes, but it doesn't look good. On a nice fresh salad, you putting a dry curry leaf, it doesn't look good. But you can even go to Walmart these days. Walmart sell curry leaves. Food Basics sells it. Joe Fresh sells it. Indian grocery store sells it. So I think by popularity and Indian cuisine is getting the momentum, all these spices, and you have to understand, whenever I put anything in as an ingredient in my cookbook, every ingredient in the cookbook is available. It is available for the general public and for us also. So it is available everywhere. You can buy it. And it's very cheap also. A bag of curry leaf is like $1.50 or $2. So I will recommend to use the fresh one.
Last question.
Yes.
Can papadums be cooked in microwave?
No. Papadums can be cooked in microwave? No. As I mentioned in the beginning, it says it's an easy way to do, but to get the good flavor on the papadum, you need to fry them in oil and go that extra step. Like especially the South Indian papadum, it has to be fried, and that is the way you get that flavor and the crunchiness. Then you will enjoy it. Otherwise, you can do it. I seen it, people doing it in the microwave, but I don't recommend. Other one, open grill is a much better, or fry them. That's what I recommend. Yeah. So this concludes the show. I hope you all enjoyed. again, I wanted to thank OPL for doing this show with virtual. It is a little bit hard because I don't see you all face, but I hope you all enjoyed the show. Anything, please reach out to me or come to the restaurant, say hello, buy the book, enjoy it. If you want to travel with me, please check out the website for 2025. And a special shout out to my friend who is help me out to help me to set up this one. Mary, thank you very much for helping me and the OPL team to conduct this. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. That was amazing. I only regret that we couldn't smell it and taste it. I will thank Chef Joe for sharing so much with us tonight. Not only great recipes, but some great information and tips as well. He thanked the OPL program development team. I want to thank them as well for putting this excellent event together, and to everyone for joining us tonight. I hope you feel inspired to try some new things in the kitchen, and that you'll join us for events at OPL about food literacy, and plenty of other subjects as well. And I invite you to explore the library's excellent collection of cookbooks. Indeed, we have Coconut Lagoon, both Coconut Lagoon and My Tally. They are understandably very popular. I think they're all in use right now, but the hold list isn't too long. So go to your local library, place a hold for Coconut Lagoon or My Tally. You won't regret it. And with that, I'll wish you all a good evening. Merci à tous. Thank you so much for joining us.